Hello artists, and welcome back to Art at Home with Mrs. Kellogg. Well, February 14th is fast approaching, and I bet you know what day that is. You're right, it's Valentine's Day. So I thought it'd be fun to create some Valentine's Day art today. So meet me over at my workspace, and I'm going to tell you more about the art lesson and the art materials you will need. This is an example of the Valentine's Day inspired art project we're going to create today. And I gained inspiration from a well-known artist named Romero Britto, and he is known for his famous Britto hearts. I've included a link on the art's website right below this video. And the link is to a slideshow of Romero Britto's artwork. I hope you take time to look at the slideshow and gain inspiration from all of Romero Britto's different paintings. I know I got some wonderful ideas from looking at his work. Now let me tell you the art supplies you will need for today's project. You're going to need paper, and the size is up to you. I'm going to use a square paper. You're going to need a pencil with an eraser, and I'm going to use markers for this project. But if you would like, you could use oil pastels and a black Sharpie marker, or you could use crayons or colored pencils. The choice is up to you. Now would be a great time to pause your video and look at that slideshow of Britto's artwork. Then gather all your art supplies, set up your workspace, and meet me back here, and we'll start creating Britto hearts. Did you get your materials? Great, then let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to focus on are my two elements of art, line and shape. So I'm going to start by drawing the heart first. So what I like to do is just sketch some lines in for placement. So where am I going to place that heart? So I want it right in the center and about this big and about that wide. Okay, so the first thing I think about is line. So it's almost like I'm going to draw a tilted upside down J. So I'm going to start here. Then once I have my heart drawn in, the size I like, then I'm going to erase all the lines I'm not going to use. And if you looked at Britto's artwork, he divided up a lot of sections of his artwork, and he created design. So meaning that he repeated shapes, line, and color. And some shapes he made big, some shapes he made smaller to create contrast. So I'm going to start having fun, overlapping shapes, and designing my heart now. Now I'm going to look more and more how I can create a pattern and repeat lines and shapes. I'm going to divide up the background to continue my design, and I'm thinking pattern. How can I repeat shapes and lines? Okay, now that I'm finished with my drawing and my design, I'm going to trace everything with my black marker. Now would be a great time for you to pause the video, draw your heart, add your design work, and then trace all your lines and shapes. And then we'll meet back here and start adding color. Did you finish drawing, tracing, and designing your heart? Great, then let's add some color. The first thing we want to think about is the element of art value. And we want to think about using a light color, a medium color, and a dark color. Now we're also going to be thinking about two really important design principles. Repetition, so again, you're repeating shapes and lines, but now we want to repeat some color. So think pattern when you're choosing your colors. The other thing I want to think about is light colors next to dark, because our two design principles are repetition and contrast. So if I use this purple color next to the black, my shapes aren't going to stand out, and my design won't stand out either. So I want to think about using a lighter color next to a darker color to get my biggest contrast. I'm also going to leave some white of the paper in my design to really get that contrast. So the color choice is up to you, but again, we want to think about value, the idea of light, medium, and dark colors. And we want to think of those two design principles, repetition, for example, repeating our colors, and contrast, putting that light color next to the darker colors. And one thing I want to point out, which I bet you noticed, before I started adding color, I added black marker to my artwork. So the reason I did that first was I establish my darkest value first, and the paper is my lightest value. By having my light value and my dark value set up first, it made it so much easier to choose colors. So that's always helpful to do, especially if you're having trouble choosing colors. And as you go, you might change your design a little bit, finding you might need to add an extra line here and there. Now it's your turn to add color to your Britto heart. Have fun and remember the element of art value and those two important principles of design, repetition and contrast. That ends our Valentine's Day inspired art lesson. I hope you enjoyed the lesson, and I really hope you enjoyed learning about the artist Romero Britto. And always remember, when you are creating art, to relax, have lots of fun, and keep creating.